Different levels I cannot relate. You never win if you playing it safe. It's all a game until you get played.
Last week on Thursday, I spoke about the case involving Austin Metcalf as well as Kamelo Anthony down in Frisco, Texas. We talked about the young man, Austin Metcalf, losing his life, being unalived by Kamelo Anthony at a track meet. But we didn't know when we reported on Thursday, we really didn't know what kind of went on, what sparked everything, how did this case turn around and end up being a tragedy like this, like a misunderstanding. What happened? Well, we got some new details now about this, and it's interesting because there is a motive for self-defense. And I just want to hear you all to take a listen to this real quick, and then we're going to talk about it. Let's go.
A teenager accused of stabbing another student athlete at a track meet told officers as he was being taken into custody that he did it in self-defense.
Austin Metcalf was killed this week at that Frisco track meet. New documents detail what happened before and after 17-year-old Kamelo Anthony allegedly pulled a knife from his backpack and stabbed him. Fox 4's Alex Boyer joining us now live with the latest. Alex.
Hey guys, and in that 7-page arrest warrant affidavit, several witnesses, including Metcalf's twin brother, describe how that deadly encounter went down. The suspect then reportedly admitted to a Frisco police officer who detained him that he had stabbed Metcalf.
My son is gone, and I don't really have words. I've tried to figure out what I was going to say, but he's just going to be so missed.
The pain is still raw for the Metcalf family after 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was killed on Wednesday morning at a UIL District 11-5A track meet in Frisco.
That dude was extremely smart, always in the box. He just came to him real easy, and just him playing football as well just made him just a great person overall.
Here's what happened according to witnesses and the police report. Metcalf got into an argument with the suspect, 17-year-old Kamelo Anthony, over a seating dispute in the bleachers. Metcalf told Anthony he needed to move from under the team's tent.
He always was one to step up and be the person that would do the right thing. And he was doing the right thing by saying to this gentleman that you're not supposed to be in this tent. This is because they have personal items there.
Anthony opened his bag and reached inside and said to Metcalf, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf reportedly grabbed Anthony and told him to move.
He knew.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there before we continue on. I just want to paint the picture real quick. So as this story, this is as of multiple accounts on what happened. It is alleged that Kamelo Anthony entered the tent that belonged to the school that these young men went to, Austin Metcalf. They were at a track meet, and he was under the tent. He was sitting there, and allegedly there was an altercation that involved some words being exchanged. And here we are. We have this situation where now it's, hey, you got to move. How about you make me move? And then something happens. Somebody gets grabbed, and then a knife comes out.
He wasn't supposed to be there. It's just a tragedy what happened.
That's when Anthony pulled out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf in the chest once before running away. When Anthony was taken into custody by a Frisco police officer, Anthony reportedly confessed to the crime, saying, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to," adding that, "I was protecting myself," and then asked the police officer, "Is he going to be okay?"
Is he going to be okay? No, young man, he is not. He has unfortunately succumbed to the injuries and lost his life. Now, when I heard this story the first time, like I said the other day, I knew it was going to be something. I knew conservative radio and talking heads were going to make this a big deal. I knew it was going to be a black-white thing. I knew all that was going to come out because that's what this country is so predicated on. That's what it's predicated on. But this to me is not a black-white thing. I don't think it's a race thing, but people are going to make it one. What I think this is ultimately is the football player came over, put a jack guy, probably said some things, joking around. Hey, man, what you doing over here? Man, I'm chilling. Man, you can't be over here. How about you make me move? You know how this goes. And this ultimately went the wrong way. Now, it's alleged that he grabbed the young man, and if he did that, now this is the lesson where you don't put your hands on people. I mean, his mom said, hey, he was doing the right thing, but honestly, in this case, was he supposed to be there? Was he on the track team as well? It's so much underlining in this story. And what I didn't like is the narrative that this kid Kamelo was just some hoodlum and some thug that just came over there and decided to pick a fight with somebody and kill him. Because that's not what happened. That's not what happened in this case. He was there. Was he supposed to be there? We don't know. Some people saying yes, some people no. We don't know. Because you know what? Who's not saying something? The schools. We haven't gotten an actual report from the schools yet on actually what happened. We haven't. At all. Not a report. We don't know because they're not telling us nothing. They're not saying nothing at all. And that's the problem in this case right now. Because the young man, he made a rational decision when he shouldn't have. Very, very, very bad decision. And he shouldn't have. Because there was no reason to do this. Now, he may have felt threatened. Why you got a knife? I don't know. You still got to answer for that, young man. You got a knife. Don't understand why you got a knife. But then he told the cops, is he going to be okay? I was defending myself. And that's in the report, too. And that's where this case kind of takes a turn. Because if this young man really thought that he was protecting himself, then the case for self-defense might even work in this case. I don't know. What I do know is a young man lost his life, and another young man made a split decision that may potentially ruin his. And we could take race out of it altogether and just look at this as a bad situation and the lessons learned. It's about respect and a right to people's space, because you just can't come up to people and just say, hey, man, you got to move. Now, that just ain't going to work in these days. Now, if this young man was in the right, and I know some people, y'all going to come on my page and say, yo, he shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been there. I get all that. I get that. I'm not discounting that at all. I ran track and field. I know that the team set their tents up. But sometimes other people from other teams come over, especially if they got friends on the team. We don't know if he knew anybody from the school. He might have just came over to come holler at his homeboys and was sitting there waiting on one of his homeboys. We don't know. We still haven't like I said, we still not have gotten, that was all wrong. We still have not gotten an account from either school as to what actually happened. Everything we've gotten up to this point is hearsay. We just heard from the parents. They've been on the Will Kane show on Fox News. We knew that was coming. We got Clay Travis out here saying stuff. We got Matt Waltz saying stuff. We knew that these people were going to try to make it a race thing, and they do this with their little racial innuendos, and they try to make it seem like they're not doing this when they actually are. They are stoking flames, and they do this stuff because they know that this is the narrative that wants to get painted. And it's a shame that they keep doing this. Like, you want to stoke fear and flames and try to drum up a race war when there shouldn't be one. This is a bad situation. This is a situation that if cooler heads could have prevailed, that there was some adults around, perhaps maybe this situation does not happen. Perhaps Kamelo gets up, walks away, and does not stab Austin Metcalf, and everything is all well and good. If cooler heads could have prevailed, but they did not in this case. But we should not be trying to make it into something that is not. This is just a bad situation that happened, and we're gonna see what the Justice Department decides when it's all said and done. I personally believe that this case is just a bad situation, and I don't think that this young man should lose his life behind it. Still got an answer for having a knife on campus, but I don't think the murder charge, I don't think he intentionally went there to murder this boy. I don't believe that. I think it's just a bad situation.